Hello and welcome to another update video about Tezos. I just wanted to update you on this crypto, and the last video was quite popular. Made two videos so far on Tezos, one on the 1st of October before the breakout happened out of this symmetrical triangle, and one here just before the retracement. And yeah, when we were within the triangle, I told you that we could break out of this triangle with an initial target of 960 roughly. We didn't quite get there, but we broke above that $8 and roughly $8 level. Told you there will be some resistance. There was a bit of resistance. We can see it on the hourly chart. There you go. I had that resistance here before we broke above that level. And then when we, in my last video on the 4th, I told you when we moved up here, and I think that video was made when we were at around 867 or 870 before we reached the peak here. I told you that we'll get a retracement very, very soon, purely because we went into the overbought range on the shorter term time frame. So we were, when I made when I made that video on the 3rd of October, we went into the overbought range. You can see it here on the 4-hour chart. We went over 70 on the RSI and also on the hourly chart. We went into the overbought range. You can see that here. So that is when I made you aware that there will be a retracement very soon. And there you go. We were nearly in the overbought range here as well on the daily. So all of that told me there will be a retracement very soon. And shortly after the video, that retracement actually happened. We came down to the previous high, came back in below that important resistance or support level, depending on what how you look at it. But we did have it here of this cup and handle, this descending trend line, slightly descending trend line, and we came below that again, retested that, went up again, and now we are above that important, let's call it, breakout point of the cup and handle again. So we're currently retesting that, and we can clearly see that on the hourly that we're just having that retest. And if that is successful, I believe that would be a good trade entry, because that is a very important level. That's essentially the, call it, neckline of the cup and handle that we broke out of. I did show you in that last video, or in the video before, that there were quite a lot of similarities to the Coty chart with Coty, and what happened with Coty. Coty broke out of that cup and handle pattern and really reached very nice price levels. And in my view, Tezos hasn't seen that. And as we are now retesting that, there could be a potential, if we see, however, only if we see some green candles now, and that could be a good trade entry in my view, but no financial advice. We are now below the overbought range. Maybe there's a little bit of a sideways move now, but then we could see some green candles. I believe that might be a good trade entry here, maybe on the 4-hour, with a successful retest of that level here, which is that important resistance or support line of that cup and handle. Remember, I did show you that Coty chart as well, which looked so similar, with a breakout point at a very similar level. I told you when we moved up with Coty, before we essentially broke out of that neckline here, we had another move down and then went up, but we went up to really nice levels. In the last video, I gave you the price targets of that cup and handle pattern, and we can just do that again. So there you go, just take that horizontal here, the vertical line here, the depth of that cup, add it to the breakout point. I'd say that is probably most likely the breakout point here, and that would take us to $11.30. The first one had 967. That was that Fibonacci extension level, the first main one. So let's just do that from that beginning to the most recent high. Actually, that was 967. Now I need to change that now because we've got a new peak. So let's go there. We will then go there, and very importantly, very interestingly, with that latest peak here, that Fibonacci extension level, the first one, is at $11.10, which is very, very close to that breakout to that target of the cup and handle. So I believe $11 could be our target, a little bit higher, but that would be our target when we continue to move up. Certainly there I expect some very strong resistance. And yeah, it's looking good because we keep above that level. However, should we break below that neckline below that $8.10 level. Beware that is a slightly descending line, so the further you go, the less value at a lower price level that neckline or trend line is. But at the moment we continue to trade above it, and I think, as I said, if we see a few green candles, maybe a couple of green candles now on the chart, I think that would be a good trade entry. But bear in mind, I already told you when we break out of that triangle that would be a good trade entry, and I think it was. So you could have realized some good profits here. But anyway, I think it's a good long-term investment in crypto generally anyway, and we are very early at this breakout of the cup and handle, so watch it, and I think there is some good scope to the upside coming. Hope you liked that video. If you did, and if you want me to cover Tezos in the future as well, please leave a comment, leave a like and subscribe. I hope I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.